Hi Nigel, yesterday I did a video that's been getting quite a bit of attention. No, not the one that explains that you're a compensatory narcissist with a problem with the EU, probably since the Maastricht Treaty. Not that one. The one that actually looked at your economic policies. Well, I say economic policies, you know, the things that you were proposing yesterday in, surprise, surprise, another press conference. Before I continue though, it's now 7 days since survivors from the grooming gang scandal asked for an apology from you after you misrepresented them in your press conference last Monday. Since then, you haven't spoken about grooming gangs at all. Oh, other than you did speak about the person formerly known as Prince Andrew, saying we should just leave him alone because what's done is done, basically. But these 5 survivors are owed a public apology from you. So just saying that again before I forget, because you clearly hope that we do all forget. Oh, and also before I forget, good luck tomorrow when your partner finds out whether she's going to get done for fraud. Actually, is it fraud or was it money laundering? I'm not quite sure. I do know that UKIP under your leadership is all tied up in the scandal though. And let's just hope the result of that inquiry don't lead people again to ask about where did she get the money to seemingly put down cash to pay for a house in Frinton-on-Sea, which was worth £885,000 that you claimed that you had bought originally, but it turned out you hadn't. Anyway, the posts that I'm referring to yesterday implied that you yourself are intellectually challenged and you have no critical thinking skills. And to be honest, after watching Zia on Newsnight last night, I was going to stick to that opinion. Because your new economic plan actually puts us back into austerity measures. But Zia really seemed to struggle with that concept last night, like understanding it, and just kept talking about but British nationals. But it's like we would all be impacted by austerity. And I was hugely concerned that when questioned about Nathan Gill, that'll be the former member of Reform that we now know was taking bribes off the Russians, I didn't find Zia's response reassuring at all. It would appear that you haven't undertaken any sort of internal investigation within the party to find out if there are more Russian assets. You know, like people that maybe met with Russian ambassadors but claimed that they didn't. Or people that spouted the same Putin talking points but maybe just didn't get paid for it. And when he was rightly questioned about your support of Liz Truss, at a time when her fiscal event led to the UK being perceived to be a financial risk in the global market, Zia's response was just that you'd upgraded the systems. And then kept repeating this ridiculous phrase that you've suddenly come up with, that Reform are going to look after the British people who set their alarm at night. And I'm sort of with Victoria Derbyshire, like, what the fuck does that even mean? Throw in the fact that your upgraded system includes people like Councillor George Madwick, who seriously was claiming on LBC last night that you guys proposing to reduce the minimum wage for young people was you guys doing the young people a favour. And his logic, just for clarity of your upgraded system, was that because people won't hire young people anymore because they're too expensive, so they're going to hire older people, who actually would end up costing the same as the young people. Meanwhile, Deputy Dick was on LBC saying exploiting young people was doing them a favour because they wouldn't have to pay so much tax. With all of that in mind, I was beginning to think Reform wasn't the party for me. Even though you keep saying that you're going to protect women and children, you're all about protecting British culture and the way things were. But today, your supporters have spoken to me. They've put up robust arguments about why your policies make sense. I mean, they haven't. They've been speaking about my eyebrows, actually. They've engaged in political debate. Well, no, they've just written Reform and put the Union Jack. They've argued respectful. Yeah, well, they haven't actually. They've been a little bit rude, if I'm honest. Why are Reform voters obsessed with eyebrows? I think some of them missed the memo about respecting British culture and free speech. Seemingly some of them seem to be a little bit like you, woefully lacking in critical thinking skills and indeed intelligence. I'm even beginning to think that maybe they don't care about survivors when they can kind of make jokes about something so horrific. Yet they say they care about our culture and care about free speech. And gender seems to really confuse them. It's odd though, isn't it, that they're really all over the accounts this morning. It's like they've decided to attack people that are pointing out that your economic policy that you suggested yesterday actually doesn't stand up to scrutiny. You know, people like me saying deregulating the UK makes us less safe, and underpaying, exploiting young people is not really a place that I think the UK needs to go to. And then somehow trying to sell that as a tax break seems to be disingenuous. Look, I guess what I'm trying to say to you and members of the cult with an L is I don't think any of this is actually making Britain great again. I think you guys are making Britain worse. All right, good chats as you were.